Slíbil jsem vám producentskou hvězdu a je tady vedle mě, je to člověk, který prodává neuvěřitelné množství desek, jeho tracky a remixy má snad každý dobrý DJ a každý druhý dobrý DJ je hraje. Ten člověk si říká Deadmau5 a přijel až z Kanady. Hello.
Hey, hi Prague. Hello.
It's good to see you here in Roxy. Tell me, where did your name come from? Like, where did Deadmau5 come from?
Number one question. I called it. Somebody owes me £5. It actually came from. Well, long story short, I had this really old apartment, and we had a bit of a mouse problem, and one kind of crawled in the back of my computer and decided to commit seppuku on the middle of my video card, and it reeked up the apartment for quite a number of days, and we couldn't figure out what the smell was until I had to change my video card about like 3 weeks later. So I changed the video card, and I see this dead mouse on the thing, and I was on IRC at the time, and I told the whole IRC guys that story, and they started calling me that Deadmau5 guy, right? So it kind of stuck.
So it was not close to, you know, your audio card, because, so we could say that mouse has to do something with your music.
No, it has nothing to do with that. Yeah, that'd be really disappointing.
Okay, Canada is not exactly like a typical country where young guys want to become DJs and producers. So what made you like want to become a producer or DJ?
Well, I've always been into computers and electronic music and all that stuff, but I think lately now that's all changed because we're starting to see a lot of good artists, electronic music producers and stuff like that come from Canada, such as Adam K, Jello, what's that other guy's name? Mark Mendes is also, and all these people live in the same block, but I think my start of it was about 13, 14 years ago. I was playing a lot with computers and music, doing mod trackers and DOS-based programming for, you know, just demo scene stuff, and that was before VST was kind of introduced to computers and all that stuff. So I started to get into VST. So I think I'm fortunate to have, you know, witnessed the development of VST, and then, you know, seeing the computer, you know, become more physically apt at doing, you know, computer music. So, you know, I kind of had a chance to grow with that and learn from all that kind of stuff. So that was all part of it, I think.
Your sound is really, you know, a typical, like a strong Deadmau5 sound. What kind of influences did you have that made you like evolve to this sound, do you think?
Well, I don't know exactly. It's just kind of sit down and do it. I don't really pre-think much of it, but as far as the melodies and stuff, I'm really influenced by a group in Scotland called Boards of Canada, and as a kid I grew up listening to like Nine Inch Nails and, you know, a lot of really heavy industrial stuff where they had that. Well, yeah, no, yeah and no. It's not in the sense that they're both groups are very keen to the very melancholic kind of melody. You know what I mean? Where it's simple, it's short, you know, and it's minor, like in a minor key, and it's just really not happy, not sad. You know what I mean? But just somewhere in the meh zone, and that's where I like to kind of keep that. So.
It seems like every good DJ have your track in the box, and I also noticed a couple of tracks which sounded like made by you, but it were not made by you. So did you notice that as well? And do you mind if any other producers like copy or trademark?
No, because I didn't invent it. You know what I mean? I'll be the first to admit it. I did not invent eighth notes. Okay, like there it is. But it's kind of flattering, I guess, to see that, you know, other people are kind of cloning the Deadmau5 style and all that stuff. Not to say that I have any international patents and/or trademarks on the Deadmau5 sound, but yeah, it's some of it. Some people take it a bit far, but, you know, other guys have kind of pulled it off nicely. I mean, I got a lot of flack about the Impedo remix of Toka's Miracle. And, you know, I was the usual suspect, but that was one of the cases where, yeah, no, it wasn't me, but it could have been.
Correct me, but I think that your tracks or remixes are released almost every week now. So are you such a workaholic, or do you have such a good manager? Or
I think it's a combination of the two. I found a good manager that knows that I'm a workaholic. I really do not leave the house. I never did. But lately things have calmed down a bit as I'm kind of developing more towards my like a live, full-on live set, as opposed to kind of right now the way it is now, it's half DJ, half live. So I'm just experimenting for now because this must be my 19th show or something like that all over. So I'm still very new to the whole DJ thing, very new to the live performance bit, but I'm spending a lot of time on that and less time kind of in the studio working on remixes. So I think over the next couple months we're going to see a kind of like quality control over the remixes as opposed to me just sitting at home spitting them out constantly. You know, I have other things to think about now too, so it's gonna taper off a little.
Yeah, that's what I noticed, that you are doing so many remixes that sometimes the remixes are not as original as they used to be and stuff and like that.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of need to stop and take a look at what I'm doing and make sure that I'm giving more quality control over my releases, and you know, and also, you know, in the same vein, developing my live sets and being able to tour and all this stuff and get used to it, because I mean, like guys like John Aquaviva and Eric Murillo, these guys have been touring longer than, you know, I've even been making music. So, you know, there's, I think, a beginning time period where you have to get used to that kind of lifestyle where, you know, schedule your week so that, you know, if I'm home in Canada from Tuesday to Thursday, Wednesday is a work day, Thursday is a work day, Tuesday is like lay on the couch and watch reruns of Lost because you're too jet lagged to do anything else. So yeah, I just got to get used to all of it still. So, but I'm doing okay. I'm still alive, so to speak.
Do you think about your artist album? It would be nice to bring it to, I don't know, Miami conference.
Yeah, well, for Miami's pretty much booked for me. I'm going to be doing one of my own parties actually there, and we'll release more information on that when it becomes available. And I'm playing other people's parties as well, so I don't have enough time to spit out an artist album, you know, from start to finish from now till Miami. But it's something I've definitely thought about a lot over the last you know, 6 to 7 months, where, you know, I should maybe not go the way of the Trent Moeller, but, you know, just do something original. And
you got an offer from mainstream pop artist, very well paid. Are you up for the remix?
Well, I've actually already done that, actually. It's just not too many people know about this one. I did Christina Aguilera's Hurt.
Really?
Yeah, with Steve Duda, and we released it under BSOD, not Deadmau5. So, yeah, like, I do tricky things like that because I don't really want to do that kind of stuff, but man, does that ever pay the rent, you know? And it's good to wake up going, shit, you know, I'm short $150 on rent. But I mean, that's kind of why we did it. But it was contracted through a friend of a friend, and it was interesting to work on, but not something I'm going to keep pursuing. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to go that way unless, you know, the said song I really enjoy. You know, then I'll do stuff. But I think now I'm going to start being more picky about what I remix and who buy, not just because of the popularity of the said track, but you know, how I feel about it, and, you know, what I can do with it that would give it, you know, something new to it, as opposed to just, you know, putting a kick drum underneath it and saying, yeah, Master Dance remix, you know.
Who would you like to remix? Like, who's your dream person?
I got so many. George Voorn, I think. I love his stuff. Richie Houghton, for sure. Any of those really techno guys, no vocals, you know. And I'm really into that kind of stuff where it's. Or if there is a vocal, very, very little of it, you know, I'd like to do that. But the top remix guys I think I'd like to hit is Phil Kiran, George Byrne, and Richie Houghton, I think. Yeah.